Welcome in, everybody, to another edition of Argo Sports Insider. I'm Will Kennedy. This is Coach Stephanie Lawrence-Yelton of the UWF women's basketball team, and we're going to start this episode off talking hoops as you guys are underway and off to a really nice start. 6-1 to start the season, coming off a pair of wins last week. Feels pretty good.
Oh, we're great. We're sitting pretty right now on the top of the GSC, so we certainly are excited about that.
And that was the big thing. You guys started off the GSC schedule on the road at West Georgia, never an easy place to go and play, and really kind of defense got you that win.
You know, our defense has been superb. You know, we've been harping on that since day one because we felt like that might be, our Achilles heel for our team this year. But we're getting better and better as the day passes, and I really think our players are taking pride in it now. What's
been the key defensively, in the games that I've seen here at home, getting on that glass and limiting those second chances for the other team has been huge.
Yeah, when you've got the number one, number two rebounder in the conference and Jacqueline and Zoe here on our team, it does make defending a little bit easier.
You've talked about those two players. Those are two new faces, and you've got Maddie Griffin, the point guard, as well. And I remember going into the preseason, you're kind of like, it's going to have to come together, and how quickly it comes together is a big part of that when you have some new players. To be 6-1, that's a good indication that it's happened pretty fast.
The new players we've brought in have brought just a tenacious mentality to our program. They want to win, they want to play, they want to be competitive. And then we had a core group of returning players from last year that still had that same mentality, but they needed some extra talent around them to make that come to fruition. And I think we're there.
No midweek games with finals week this week, so you'll go on the road. You got Lee, you got Shorter, kind of back-to-back on a road trip, and now the conference starts coming.
Oh, man, it doesn't get any easier right now. I've always said the GSC and women's basketball is just like the ACC and the SEC. Every night you've got a great opponent. At any given time, any team can beat anyone else. So going on the road is obviously difficult, especially coming off an exam week is going to be difficult. And going in and seeing one of the top teams in our league right now at Lee is going to be super difficult. But I'm excited. I'm excited about where we stand. I'm excited about the product that we're putting on the floor, and excited to see where this team's going to go.
Coach, good luck to you on the road trip, and we're going to bring in Double J, the Conference Player of the Week here.
Nice. She's a great one. She's a great one.
Bringing in the GSC Player of the Week now, Jacqueline Jarnett. First of all, congratulations on that. I mean, you're playing well. The team is playing well, 6-1 start. And I think I was saying to Coach, that's really a nice indication of how well the team is doing when you win an individual award. Struggled a little bit with the shot all the way. It was nice to see a couple fall last time. And it's nice to see you kind of aware, like, hey, that's not working tonight. Let me go do something else. And that's been rebounding, and that's been scoring inside as well.
Oh, for sure. I just focus on controlling what I can control. And when my shots aren't falling, I'm going to go grab every rebound. And hopefully that'll translate into my offense. And last game it did. But the past 3 games I really struggled, but I still got every rebound, did what I could do, and worked hard.
24-16 against Columbus State, which was not too far off your career highs there. Let's talk a little bit about playing, where you play and sometimes having to play the 3, the 4, maybe even the 5. And is that a different mindset when you have to kind of switch around?
Yeah, so I was never actually a full-time 4 at my last school. I was like a 3, but sometimes I would be a 4, but not full-time. So it's definitely an adjustment playing bigs and learning how to defend without fouling and stuff like that. Just working on my post moves have definitely improved as well. And I think I'm pretty effective in the paint, so that has been very nice too.
Makes it nice. Jacqueline Jarnett is from Minnesota, right, originally. Yes. Played at North Dakota before transferring here. So tell us kind of like mid-December-ish what it's like up there versus, the 60 and 70 degree days you have now here in Pensacola, Florida.
Yeah, you can't even imagine how cold it is. The wind is like you're in cryotherapy, like your body is so cold. And right there now it's like 5 inches of snow, and I'm here with the ocean and 70-degree weather, so can't complain.
Would you be one of those northerners who jumps into the Gulf of Mexico this time of year?
Oh, no, definitely not.
Smarter than that, right?
Yes, definitely smarter.
Well, congratulations on a great start. Good luck, and Lee and Shorter coming up this week.
Thank you so much.
Coming up next, we'll dive into men's basketball. Hot start for Coach Jeff Burkhammer and company as well.
Real change occurs in that split second, a moment of connection among people.
With a common purpose,
a shared vision,
and a unified goal. What will you change?
What will change you? The University of West Florida. No limits.
Time to talk a little men's hoop. Coach Jeff Burkhammer joins us now. Coach, congratulations. Off to a great start, 6-1 to get the year rolling, coming off a win over Albany State, second win over Albany State this season. Team is playing well. You've got your first GSC win. Everything's looking pretty decent.
Well, it's been a great start. And, it's a great start with 6 of 8 on the road, which is really, really good with 6 new guys and a few returning guys to go on the road and be able to win those games has been terrific.
You guys have got kind of this weird schedule in this time of year where you may not play for a couple days and then the games come 2 in a row. You've got that coming up. Let's kind of talk about where this team is. And you mentioned when we talked preseason about bringing in basically half a new team and then kind of melding that with some guys that are already here. Sometimes that can take a little while. It seems like that's happening at a pretty quick pace.
This is a group that is quick learners. I think they've got pretty good basketball intellect, the guys we brought in. They do a great job listening. They're coachable. And then the guys we got returning have really helped those guys get an understanding of what we're doing. Last year we kind of changed a little bit how we're playing offensively. Having a year under our belt with those guys from a coaching standpoint and from a playing standpoint has been really, really good. I think we've been able to figure things out much quicker, and then the new guys have come in and be able to see it and really adjust.
Last week it was a win at West Georgia to get the conference schedule moving, and then we mentioned that win over Albany State. Dan Sofield, who I think you kind of know what you're going to get from him as he comes back for his second or third campaign, depending on if we're not counting last year because it doesn't really count. It looks like, again, he's kind of gotten himself a little bit bigger than he was last year and a little bit stronger, and he's doing what you expect him to do, which is average 16 points a game.
Well, he's really had a good start to the year. We're doing some different things to try to get him shots, make sure he gets touches, but he's gotten bigger and stronger. He really worked in the offseason. He worked last year, and I think he'll have an all-league type of campaign. I think he's really coming into his own. He's found ways to score in different ways, whether it be offensive rebound, post-ups, now putting the ball on the floor other than just making shots. So he's got to be our leader. He's going to be the guy that we're going to go to in games, but at the same time, we got a bunch of other guys that can help him.
GSC games coming up. You've got Lee and Shorter back-to-back Saturday and a Monday. Those are important games early.
Well, Lee's coming back with all 5 starters off an NCAA tournament team. They're a good team. They play really, really well at home. And then we go to Shorter, a team that continues to get better. I think they've gotten better every year since Wade's got there, and he's done a good job with their team. And another game that we'll have to play really well. We're going to play similar styles, so the scout won't be a whole lot different. At least we can take from one game to another and not have to completely change the scout in one day. But two games on the road, we need to go find a way to win. And like I said, we've been pretty good on the road so far.
Coach, good luck in those ones, and you guys will be back here in the field house the 18th and the 20th, and we'll have those through goargos.com. Happy holidays to you. Coming up next on the show, we're going to dive in and recap a fantastic volleyball season and women's soccer in NCAA tournament play. Time to talk a little volleyball with head coach Melissa Walter with the UWF volleyball program. And coach, just congratulations first off on a historic season, 35 wins, #1 seed in the region to host the region tournament. A lot of things had to happen right for this to work out this way, and you really had a special group.
We did. I mean, it's still hard to come down from Saturday and just the end, but when in the short time that I've had to be able to reflect on what we did, it was an awesome ride. I thought our players did just such a good job of not looking ahead, looking behind, just staying in the moment and treating every opponent the way that we wanted to. And so there's a new foundation, I guess is the best way to say it, for the future of our program.
And Coach is referencing it was a tough one in the regional final with Tampa, a team that you know well, and a hard-fought 4-set match, and I think it really was an incredible weekend.
Yeah, it was. I think, being able to just treat each opponent separately and just take it one day at a time. We had talked about that last year when we actually went down to Tampa and, played them. And then we also played St. Leo. And so that was kind of our first crack at 3 matches. And we talked about it, survive in advance. So we were kind of training them back in the spring because we hadn't played in a postseason in 2 years. Each opponent that we played presented different issues, but I thought our players did a really good job of, trying to play our ball and make the adjustments that we needed to make. It was the experience that we need. Certainly grateful for our seniors and their contributions. So from this point forward, I think we get to now reinvent ourselves.
There are some special players that you mentioned. You don't get to this level without having some people rise to a certain level and rise above in some cases. And particularly for the team, have been honored with all kinds of different honors. And those are going to be some tough shoes to fill in some cases, but some you get back as well.
Yeah, no, we're super excited. I think, for us to have so many honorees through the conference and then now nationally and whatnot, I just think it's a great tribute to this team and how balanced we were. I mean, obviously, Vericia Yon, it goes without saying, I mean, she led the nation in hitting percentage. That's insane. We always knew that she was capable of it, so it was really neat to see her go and do what she did this year. But I think Taylor Van Ekkeren's probably one of the greatest maybe exterior surprises, but interior, we knew what she was capable of. So it was really fun to see her get out there and set one of the best offenses in the nation. And even with, I think she was second on our team in digs per set. It's just the things that she had to do to hold everything together were spectacular. But any individual honors, any team honors, all that kind of stuff, all the wins that we had, it took everybody. It took all 20 of us. And I'm just really proud of every single one of our players.
Maddie Cooler also, honored in many ways, and that's a great. And it really is, as the coach mentioned, it's a team award in addition to being honored individually. So, kind of, you mentioned it's just still fresh, but the work never stops. You kind of do your meetings, and then it's going to get into spring before too long after holiday break, and you got recruiting. I know you've already had a few commits, and so the future is definitely bright.
Yeah, we're really excited. I think anytime you get to that juncture of the season and you go deep into the tournament, it's a measuring stick. It allows you to see where you are, where you need to go, where you're deficient, and then you can address those things in the spring, which we obviously did not get to do any of that last fall. So I think we're in really good shape returning all the returners that we are. Obviously we've got some gaps we need to fill, but definitely excited about the future of our program.
Well, Coach, congratulations again on a fantastic season.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Time to talk a little women's soccer with Coach Joe Bartlinski from the program. And Coach, congratulations on a great season. I know it didn't end the way you wanted to. Only one team, though, gets to walk away at the end of it all with the victory. But I'm thinking back to when we did our preseason preview, and there was a lot of unknown for you in this program, coming off a year in which you didn't play, and you had a lot of new girls and a lot of new faces.
Yeah, I mean, to be able to finish in the final 16 in the country again with such a new team and to just be able to play. I mean, it's been a long time. And then again, we only had 5 players return that have ever played a game for West Florida. And so for us to advance as far as we did with all these unknowns was quite a task. But it does still leave a hole in our heart. But with only graduating one a very important player, Hannah Wooten, out of eligibility, the future can be bright if the team comes together.
Let's talk about the last game. You're hosting here, that kind of super regional round. You got Florida Tech in, and it's one of those games where 1-1 at the half, and you get a goal and then kind of give up one of those that I know as a coach you hate to give up.
Well, again, that comes with a little bit, we need more maturity throughout the field, and that comes with time. And we just, again, we're so young and have so many new players, and these things happen, but we got to learn and then move forward.
Second half of that game, you're down in their end almost, most of the time, creating some chances, and sometimes it just doesn't go in. You're hitting the woodwork, you're just missing by that much.
Yeah, and that's soccer, as we know. I mean, both teams are talented that were out there. Florida Tech has done well in going through on PKs. And so we wanted to attack and finish it, and that's just soccer. That's the way it's always been, and it's always going to be that way, so we have to do better. We have to mature in front of goal, and again, that's what we look forward to in the future.
As you look back at this year, who stands out for you as players who, got better and maybe exceeded what you thought they could do or, took a step forward?
Absolutely loved, Peyton Peffers, her work rate and how hard she just played. She didn't just talk the talk or walk the walk. She ran the walk. And so by her work rate alone elevated everybody. It's going to be sad to lose Hannah Wooten on our back line. She was such an important part of the program. So that's painful. But then seeing other players like, Blair step up and some of these new ones, gosh, the two Destinies, Destiny Hurd, Destiny Hammock really had excellent seasons. Our goalkeeping core is super strong. But our youngsters had to step up. That's going to help them as we bring in new recruits to challenge them for their spots.
Coach, congratulations on a great season. We'll be looking forward to bright things ahead.
Yes, we do too.
That's going to wrap it up for this edition of Argo Sports Insider. Remember, GoArgos.com is always your spot to get the latest on the schedule. Not a ton going on during the holiday break, but there is a little basketball sprinkled through, as we mentioned earlier. And the Argo Armada app, you can always kind of keep track of women's soccer, men's soccer, a little bit of everybody, their social media, all that kind of stuff. We hope you have a safe and happy holiday season. We'll see you in the spring with more Argo Sports Insider.